Hello, welcome to the Kitchen Spy. My name is Kate and here's another Meals of the Week video, and this time it takes us from the 30th of May to the 5th of June. I hope that this video finds you safe and well and that you're able to get all of the things that you want for your family to be able to do the meals that you want to. So yeah, we're still in lockdown. It's still difficult to get everything that we absolutely want. So I'm not really planning the meals as I usually do. What I normally do is plan and then shop. But what I'm doing at the moment is shop and then I'm kind of inventing stuff as I go along. So I'm sorry if some of the meals seem a bit samey. Anyway, if you're already a subscriber, thanks so much for subscribing. I really appreciate your support. And if you're not and you feel like you might want to watch Meals of the Week, recipe videos and hauls, then please give the subscribe button a click. And we'll just crack on now and have a look what we had for our meals this week. Okay, so we will start off on Saturday, and this is cheese and potato pie served with peas and tomato. And normally when having this we'd serve it with baked beans, but we just did this for a change. I've actually done a recipe for this pie and I'll link it down below so you can give it a go if you want to. So the pie was 599 calories and the entire plate of food there, as you see, is 690. This freezes really well, obviously without the peas and the tomatoes, and it's a really comforting meal, and I think at the moment we could do with all the comfort we can get. So yes, cheese and potato pie. Then on Sunday, something from the freezer. So this is a Latimer beef. I did a recipe for this and I'll also link that down below. So it's served here with roast butternut squash, carrots, asparagus and peas, and this entire plate of food came to 428 calories. So the Latimer beef was a Mary Berry recipe and that was really delicious, and it froze really well, so I was really pleased with how that turned out. It was just as nice, if not a little bit nicer, the second time, as you quite often find when you freeze casseroles. So definitely recommend giving this a recipe a go, and as I say, I'll just link that down below for you. Then also on that Sunday, I'd been watching the Meals of the Week from Karen at the Family Seesaw, and she said that she was going to be making a white chocolate rice pudding. So I asked her for the recipe, and this isn't actually white chocolate rice pudding. This is just rice pudding made in the slow cooker with coconut milk, and that portion was 180 calories and it made about 6 portions all told. It was delicious. Then on Monday we had Brinner, so breakfast for dinner, and so I'd got Linda McCartney vegetarian sausages there, a couple of eggs, some tomatoes that are roasted in the oven with some herbs and spices, and then a couple of bacon medallions, and that all came to 416 calories. Really satisfying, and I'm really liking these vegetarian sausages at the moment as well. So then the next day we had a doner kebab and also some gluten-free flatbread, and I actually I did a recipe for this and I will again link that down below. So the entire plate of food came to 508 calories, and actually of those 299 were for the flatbread, so you can see that it is a really low fat meal from the Pinch of Nom cookbook, and I'm using beef here rather than lamb, and I served it with a salad with some jalapenos, and then I've got some sriracha sauce and also a slice of lemon because I really like to have lemon on my kebab. Then I made a frittata, and this was made with roasted butternut squash. I've just roasted it in the oven, dry roasted it with some herbs and spices, whatever you choose. Then I dry fried off some onions and some peppers and some garlic, and then I just mixed in 6 eggs, and then when it had finished cooking pretty much on the bottom, then I sprinkled the top with red Leicester cheese, and then I just grilled it under the grill. Oh, I also sprinkled on some cayenne pepper as well. So I sprinkled cayenne pepper, grilled it under the grill, and then I served it here with baked beans. And this portion including the baked beans, came to 432 calories, and there was in fact enough left over for lunch the next day. So it was really nice, in fact so nice that we're having this again this week, but actually I'm going to, instead of using butternut squash, I'm going to use Jersey royal potatoes. Then on Thursday, this was something from the freezer, and it doesn't look very appetizing. I think I slightly caramelized it during the reheating. So this was a mince bake, which again is a recipe that I've done, so I'll link that down below. There's a lot of links this week, and I just served that with some frozen broccoli, which I will never buy again because I thought it was horrible, and what I've got left I will use for soup or something. But this was really nice, and I think when you've got potatoes in a dish, it pays to warm it in the oven, but I perhaps should have covered it with foil, and that was 466 calories. Then on to the Friday, I've just got here a chicken thigh which I cooked after I took the skin off, and I've served that with roasted beetroot, butternut squash, onions and carrots, and I served that with feta cheese, and that came to 379 calories. And I also just sprinkled over a little balsamic vinegar as well, just to give it a little bit of an edge, and that was really delicious. I'm really into butternut squash at the moment, and compared to other kind of carby type things, I know it's not high on carbs, but compared to potatoes and things, it's relatively low calorie. So if you're leaving at that point, thanks very much for watching. I hope that the recipes that I did this week gave you some ideas, and I hope to see you on the next one. If you're staying on, I'm just gonna show you a bit of Jess here exploring the very long grass in an area of the garden that we've just put a bench in, actually, because the view is just astounding and she really likes it. She treads delicately here because there's thistles in the grass, so she's very gentle about treading around. So she really loves it down here, and it's right next to a sheep field, but she doesn't chase them or anything. In fact, if anything, she's a little bit scared of them, which is quite good considering we're probably surrounded by them. So yeah, that's Jess, and she's having a great time. About 3 weeks ago, I don't know whether you remember, but I was going to plant some garlic, and then I realised that garlic needed to go through a cold process, and so I watched on a YouTube video that someone suggested putting it in soil in the freezer for 3 weeks. So that's what I did, and here it will have done its vernalization, apparently, so Google says. So I've taken it out of the freezer now. It's in the fridge for a week, and then I can plant my individual cloves of garlic. Right, so back to Jess. So yeah, she's supposed to be lying on that towel, but she chose not to, and she's just chewing a stick. So this is just an opportunity for me to answer another question that someone asked me, and it was a question about what would my favourite main course be and what would my favourite sweet be. So in terms of main courses, it's really difficult because I just like so many things. I like a roast dinner, and I like a spag bol. I know that's really simple, but I'm basing my answer on the fact that if I ever go out and there is a pie on the menu, so with proper short crust pastry, none of your puff pastry loose lids or anything, although I do like those as well, but a short crust pastry, beef and ale pie with proper home cooked chips and peas would be my favourite, I think. I know that sounds very basic, but yes, that's what I'd choose. And then for sweet or for pudding, I basically like anything that's really white. So I love creamy things, so I like cream, and I like lemon things. So if there's a lemon tart or something on the menu, I would choose that. But I also love white chocolate things, so white chocolate mousse or white chocolate gâteau or anything. I'm not very keen on cheesecake. Anyway, so there you go. That's another question answered, and I'll just carry on answering a few questions as we go through the videos. So yeah, that's it. That's meals of the week. A little bit of Jess, some garlic coming out of the freezer. How exciting can life get? And I'll be back on Friday with a haul, and this time it's quite a big haul from Asda actually. So thank you so much for watching. As I said before, I really appreciate your support. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to comment on anything or ask me any questions or anything, please leave a comment down below. I really love the fact that we interact with each other, and I've got to know quite a lot of you quite well, so I'm really happy about that. And coming up soon will be a subscribe button, so if you're not already subscribed, please give the subscribe button a click, and then you can join me for my other videos, which are almost always gluten-free and almost always low calorie. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks again. Bye bye.